I have a little bit of a different type of video for you today. I am going to do a little tutorial of how to fill in the slit of that skirt that I just showed you, and also to change a pair of shorts or pants into a skirt. It's super easy to do. I've done it several times for my daughter. I've done it a little bit for myself. It seems to be a little bit easier for her because she's just straight and doesn't have like curves and stuff like I do. And hopefully it'll be super helpful for you. I'm not like a professional seamstress. I did not take like classes or anything. It's just all trial and error. A person that taught me to sew was a neighbor and a super close friend that lived next to my grandma when I was a little girl, and she taught me how to sew Barbie clothes. And if you've ever done that, it's hard because I mean Barbie clothes are like this big. Yeah, she was a really good teacher, and I appreciate her taking the time to show me that, because it taught me a life skill that I have used throughout my whole entire life to be able to just fix things for my family. I will show you that today. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is get you a piece of scrap denim fabric, and you can do this in many different ways. I cut this off of another skirt that I shortened. So I keep the little pieces of denim fabric because they're really nice to have. So if my boys put a hole in their denim jeans, I can use this behind it and then sew over it to make that strong again until they rip it again, and then I usually throw the pants away. But anyways, it's always nice to have a little bit of denim on hand. If you don't have any on hand, you can buy some at the fabric store, or what I would do is just go to the thrift store whenever they have a sale for like 75% off. It doesn't matter what the jeans are, just get some denim, whatever the color is that you need, and you can use that to fill in or to use to fix the knees on pants of jeans and stuff like that. I have this and it matches the color of the skirt the best out of all the ones that I have. You could also use a print if you wanted to. It would be super fun. Lots of different ways you can do it, but this is just what I'm using, and it is always nice too because it's already hemmed. I pin this way is because I can put this and sew it on my machine with these pins in it. If they're this way, then I have to take them out every time. And if I leave them this way, my machine can go over them most of the time without hitting it with my needle. And don't worry too, it's gonna be a little bit bulky right here because of the pins. It'll all smooth out in the end. I want to show you the inside of the skirt before I sew it. So, I mean, it's not beautiful, but who's gonna see that? No one. And then after I sew that all down, I can cut off this excess so it's not just like flopping around on the inside of your skirt. Now, as far as thread, they do sell a denim thread, which is really, really nice. Let me show you. That has the little variegation in it, just like denim, but neither one of these really match this skirt. Maybe that one, but it's still a little bit dark. So I'm just gonna go with white. Don't overthink it. I'm going with white. cut the legs on this and have this all laid out. So now what I'm going to do is I lined up these two side seams. Basically what I'm going to do is just start sewing about right here and just come kind of, I'm going to angle it out a little bit so it's not so straight, which these are wide-legged pants, so they should be fine. But I mean, for little girls, they need a little bit more room to run. I may even actually hem this up a little shorter depending on the length, how it falls on her. Same thing with this side. I'm just going to follow it down and it's basically just a straight seam. I am going to start from the bottom and go up. That seems to be easier because if you start from the top and go down, sometimes these don't end up even, and I want to make sure that they stay even. I would recommend you pin it if you've never done this before. I've done this so many times, I'm not going to pin it. I'm going to skip that step, but if you're just starting out, definitely line your stuff up and pin it if that makes you feel more comfortable. This was a pair of basketball shorts for boys that I found like at Marshall's or TJ Maxx or something for like 10 bucks, and they have pockets in them and they were an extra long length, so I got these for Janessa. You can do this for girls because it's hard to find shorts long enough for girls. They always make the girls shorts like right here past their booty. It's really dumb. I don't know why they don't want girls to be a little bit more modest. This is what I do for her. It is the same exact concept as this. Same thing. I just cut the leg out, turn it inside out, and do the seams down. It's super easy. I mean, 10 bucks. You can find these at the thrift store all day long. I've done several pairs. It's very easy. Really, it's like a 10-minute thing and it's done. Just for like a little active skirt for her. She really loves these. I want to show you too, right before I sew this, the reason this is so quick and easy is because this seam is not top stitched. And when I say top stitched, this is what a top stitch looks like. It's stitched over the top. This is called a top stitch. So if it had that on, you would have to take out this stitch before you cut the leg apart. this video giving you a few little tips of what you will need just to do some basic mending and sewing. You don't need a lot of equipment, you don't need a lot of stuff. I'm not a person that likes to sew with patterns. I cannot stand to use a pattern. Everybody's different, that's just me. I just need the basic. You don't have to have a fancy sewing machine to do basic sewing. My biggest tip would be do some research. Just a basic sewing machine that has really good reviews, and then you can make your decision from there. I would invest in a good pair of scissors. This is a Fiskars brand. When you're cutting, if you don't have a good pair of scissors, it's just gonna make the job so much harder, more frustrating, because they don't cut the fabric. Like, cheap scissors that are made for paper are not going to cut your fabric good. There is a difference. And when I say invest, these are not expensive, but they're not going to be $1 at the dollar store either. The next thing is a seam ripper. These are not expensive. You can get these at the dollar store. They're so much easier to use than trying to use your scissor to tear out a seam. Definitely get a seam ripper. Also thread. For my sewing machine, I do not use cheap thread because it has a lot of lint that comes off on it, on the cheap thread, and it will mess up your machine. I pay the little extra and get the nicer thread. This is Gutermann, and then there's another one, I think it's called Sulky. Another thing is just some push pins. I love this thing. I have had this since I got my sewing machine. It's because it's a magnet. I really like it. So, I mean, this is why I like this thing. So if I drop a pin on the ground and I can't see it, I turn it upside down. I just kind of hold it a little bit above the ground and my pins will just pop up into it. And it's really nice when you have kids if you're afraid that you have missed a pin on the ground. And that's all you need, really. And determination. You can probably search YouTube for some instructional videos. I'm just a mom. Don't think you have to have all the fancy things that it's going to cost a lot of money to get started. Just start. Don't be intimidated. You can do this. If I can do this, you can do this, because I'm not a professional by no means. Like I said, I hate patterns, hate them, and that's just my personality. I don't do well with the directions and cutting it out. It's like twice the work. I have to cut out the pattern, pin it on the fabric, and follow all those directions. That's just not me. But I do love to be able to fix things for my family and know that I'm saving them money, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm actually creating something. If you have any questions, you can find me on Instagram at Jen's House of 6. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and you can do it.